Alright, so I will be basically extending same prototype today. So I'll be covering the most used constructor functions, which is an array, object, and a string. Okay? And I'll be showing few methods, which is built-in methods of the array constructor or array prototype, built-in method of object constructor, object prototype, and built-in methods of string constructor or string prototype. Okay? So and we use these three constructor very heavily in JavaScript, just to transform the data from array to string, string to array, array to object, object to array, okay, object to string, and it gives a very like a rich workflow in JavaScript. And without writing much of code, you can achieve a lot using these functions. All right. So I'll just start with the array, and then I will most of the part is in array, and there are few functions, few methods which are there in object, which we regularly use, and also a few of the methods which we regularly use in string. Okay, and interchangeably, when we use these functions, this constructor method uh, 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 like internally uses this other constructor methods to transform the data. All right. So just to basically start, I am starting with an array. So I'll just do a console here first, just to give you the output. So I'll just say names. So concept wise, I already covered. So I'm just showing you how to use it. Right. So this is an array which holds basically, you can write array in any way, so it doesn't really matter. The space doesn't really matter here. It is an index based. Array is basically index based object. In JavaScript, array is nothing but an index based object. Okay. So it doesn't really matter. It will still give you the same output, right? So if you want to, let's say, read this specific index, how will I be? What is the tax for this? That how do you read a data from an array?
from index.
Okay, by using index notation, right? So if I use 5, it will basically print me the uh, fifth value of the array. Correct. And same way, want to read the third value, I will give the third value of the array, right? So this is the very standard, which is basically we've learned from the data types. Okay, and by using this constructor, we can achieve a lot. All right. So let's see if I want to add something in array. I'll just add. Let's see. 11th index. I added another. Let's say I'm adding. Now basically show me there is a another key added with the uh, at index number 11 there is another value added at called net. So what will be the length of this array?
Last index plus 1.
Yeah, so basically if I do a length, so it is always the last index plus 1 in JavaScript array. All right. The JavaScript array does not gives you the length of the actual, does not have a length. Okay. The same way, let's see if I want to add, let's say if I want to add the value at the last index. Okay. So JavaScript dynamically basically cohers the value, cohers this array object array data types into an array constructor. Just to utilize uh, the dot notation, right? So let's see if I want to add the value at the last index. So whatever I have to do, names dot length. This will give me the length, whatever the length is there, right? But index is always one less, so I have to do length minus one and then the value. Right. So now if I do this, it will basically add another value called net. Okay. So it is basically added another value. Where is ex? Sorry. Okay. Add another value at the last index. Length minus one basically where the last value is present. So you have to add, if you want to add anything to an array, you just basically have to do a length. Right? So this is the standard way for the data types. How if you want to modify the data types. Okay. And let's see if I want to add an array at the end of the add the item at the end of the array. So by using a array constructor, we have a few built-in methods. All right. So let's see if I do name. The moment I do dot, so there are like couple of built-in methods that gives a real flexibility to you operate on this array. So there is a push function. So if I want to add something, I can still do with push function. Push method. I would basically refer as a push method. Yeah. This will do the exact same thing. It will basically add the item at the end of the array. Possibly, let's see if does this add? Can I add multiple? It does, right? So I can add multiple uh, items to the array, right? Same way, there is a push. There is another method called pop. So by name, we will know exactly what this does. What this does. It basically removes an item from the end of the array. If I run this, it basically just removes the value, right? If I do pop multiple times, yeah, so it will keep on basically removing the item one by one from the array. Right? See this. So basically, it removed 4 items. So first, it removed this, then this, then this, then this. Right? So only 3 items has been removed, left with the original array. Right? The same way, the array push and pop operates at the end of the array. Same way, we have a something called as a unshift. Okay, and let's see what this does. Okay. So basically, unshift adds item at the beginning of the array. They keep on unshifting it. Right? So it will keep on adding the value at the beginning of the array. Same way, unshifting, we have a shift. Just like pop, shift removes value from the beginning of the array. All right. Remove, see this. So basically, I've used 2 shifts. So this removes the 2 items from the array, and the first item it's showing is a this macro. All right. So these are 4 functions which are basically uh, uh, we use push, pop, then unshift and shift. So unshift and shift is very rarely used, but it is there. So uh, I just wanted to show you that. Alright. So again, now just like in a string, we had this thing, right? If var a equals to let's say hello, and var b equals to world, right? Okay. All right. So if I do a plus b, then what is the output in this case? I basically concatenating. So this is called as a concatenation, right? Right. So in array also we can basically concat to array, but if I try to use, let's say I can use main to copy this. Okay. But if I try to basically do names plus names to, what will happen? Do you remember from the very first session, variable session, arithmetic operation on non-prototype, non-primitive? It basically convert into a string. Okay. So the moment it uses this plus, all the arrays are converted into string. But how do I then merge to array? So again, there is a method. JavaScript array constructor provides a method, and then there is a method called concat, and there I can add the second array. Okay. And let's see if it is updates the original array or creates a new array. So it does not. Okay. So I have to create var new array. Right. And if I print this new array with names, you will see new array. So this is the old array. New array still has the both the values. Right. So concat value concats the old array with the new array. Right. So this is the method when we want to basically concat two uh, two array into a common single array, and it always returns a new array. Either you can create a new array, or basically you can simply say do something like this. Yeah, unless the variable is const. Okay, you cannot do this in const. If I define this as a const, this will throw me an error. All right. If it is still a let, it will still work. Okay? But if it is const, just use a new variable. All right, and it will give you the new array object. All right. So there is a const. So the next one, which we very heavily use, is called map. We already seen, right? Push pop we have seen, shift we have seen. Let's and there is a concat we have seen. All right. Now let me show you the workflow, the built-in method which we very heavily use. So just like let's say you want to iterate over all the items of the array, right? So normally we use for loop. So we say for I equals to 0, right? Then I less than whatever names dot length, okay, -1, and then I will do I plus plus, right? And then we will just say uh, we will just select it, names bracket I, all right, and we'll say var value, okay, and then we'll operate it, right? Okay. So this is the basically standard I have seen still in JavaScript. Those who don't know, who don't know, understand JavaScript. This is a good way to. This is still a good way to write, but JavaScript says you don't really have to do it. Okay. JavaScript says you don't really have to do it. JavaScript gives you the abstracted method whereby without writing this for loop, right, you can achieve the same looping. Uh, using this constructor functions, constructor methods, right? So if I do this, so now again, the concept of functions and concept of inline function comes here. So basically, JavaScript gives a method called, let's see if I do names, and there is a method called for each. So this is the for each method. Okay, this is like a for each function which takes another function as a parameter. Okay, and that we basically, let's say we write here var, and let's say we call loop, okay, and function, and this is item, okay, and this is console.log item, okay. Okay. Now I'm passing this function to this for each method as a parameter. That means the for each function where it is defined, I will be covering about this pseudocode possibly from tomorrow. This for each method where it is defined, right? It is taking a parameter which is a function, and then it is doing a for loop inside. And in each for loop, in each looping, basically what it is doing, it is basically like something like it is passing loop. Loop mein it is passing value. All right. So this is a pseudocode I would say, and then so each time it is operating, it will basically print this. So if I run this, you will see this get printed. So I will just remove this part. Okay, you will see item has been printed. All the item individual has been printed from here. Okay, right? And let's say we want to find the index also. So there is also a provision here that it also takes you can pass a second parameter also. So I will just say index. I can print index also. Okay. So now I printed the index of the array. All right. So this gives you the flexibility of without writing a loop, you can achieve this thing. So this is a very handy method whereby you can basically uh, brings the more readability into code and don't have to deal with these for loops and again, right? So in JavaScript, we do this. Let's say if you are writing a code 100 times, you will be doing this 80 times. Okay? 80 times. Everywhere this is there. This is used. Okay. So now instead of passing this, right? So now because this is a variable, I can still call loop from outside. Okay. You still call it, right? But because I want to give a function as a basically only for running this for each, I can pass this function directly as an inline function, right? And that is why concept of inline function I've covered. Okay. So now if I run this, now this function is only within the scope of this for each. Okay. This function is passed as a reference to for each function as a parameter. So if I run this now, I will still get the same output. Okay. So let's see if I give you the pseudocode for this, right? So if I write this, let's say if I do this names dot for each equals to function, and function takes let's say I will say CB, okay, and I'll just cut this, I'll paste here. I run this. Okay. All right. So now I'm taking CB, so I'll just say CB. So when I call for each method, right? So this CB is basically this function. Okay. And now it is looping, and this is looping, and basically each time it is calling that function depending on the number of times. So I will pass index also. So second parameter will also be received as a value, right? Let's see if this works. It still works. Okay. So this is how behind the scene this code is written and already been basically abstracted for you, so you don't have to write this code. Okay. So one method which we really use is a for each method. Yeah, very heavily used. Okay. Another method which we use is again, I will just again will say map function. Okay. Another method which we really use is a map. This was a new method which was introduced. Okay. So for each is basically used for looping the function, whereas map is used for basically transforming the function, transforming the array. So let's say I want to do something with this array, each item of the array. All right. So I can convert this array into another array, right? So again, uh, if I write a using for loop, what I have to do, let's say if I want to change the value of the array inside the array, right? So what I have to do basically, I have to do where, I'll just say new array, okay, and I'll just create a empty array, okay. And now, so every time, let's say I want to change the value, right? So this value, I want to basically add, let's say, uh, so let's say I'm adding a great keyword to end of the all the item, okay. And now I want to do new array dot push, okay, and value. Okay. Now, once it is run, I'll just say console.log new array, okay, and I'll just say names. Okay, I'll just comment this out first. Okay. Now, if I run this, so basically this is basically what it's doing. It is looping over the for loop, and it is extracting the value, and then after extracting the value, it is adding concatenating with the new another word great. This value will be that item of the array plus great, and then again pushing it to the new array, okay, using push keyword. Right, so it will always keep on pushing to the last item. Right. Now if I print this, okay, you will see this, right? This was an old array, and see this is the new array, right? So again, instead of doing this, because we change the value of the array very often in JavaScript, we transform the value of the array very often in JavaScript. So instead of writing this again and again, same thing JavaScript provides. There is a wrapper function which says map, and we give the function name. All right, and that function basically what it does, it says whatever you want to do, all right, and always do a return from that, and do item plus, let's say whatever you want to do, change, you change that and return the new value. I can do something like this also, or let's say we do this something like this. Let value equals to this, and I'll just say return the value. Okay, I added one line. All right. So when I do this, so it is again returning a new value. So whenever map is used, it returns a new value. So we have to basically assign that to another array. Okay. Now if I run this, okay, where is console log? I'm just adding keyword map here. You will see the name within value updated. All right. So this maps basically really help us transform the array items, change the value of the item. Again, same way, because it is a variable, it can be accessed by any methods and any entire program scope, and we only want to give it access to scope to a map function. So basically, we copy it and pass it as a inline function. Okay. Now if I run this again, same value is given. All right. So this way, JavaScript gives a very handy way of operating on data. So it basically operates on that data. Right. So the names will basically, the map function will operate on this data. Yeah. And it really ease out the code. So I don't have to write this line again. I can surely write, but not really required. So I can just do this inline and I can achieve the same thing. Okay. All right. So the another function which we really use is called map. Very popular and very heavily used. Okay. So next method is basically a filter. So again, there are times when you want to basically filter out the values from the array, right? So let's say if there is an item which is an empty string, okay, and you want to remove the value item from an array which is an empty string. If you use a uh, for loop, you will have to basically check if double exclamation of value, then push into new string. Okay, then you will basically just print the value. You will say old value and you will say new value. Okay, now if I run this, you will see okay, I don't want to change this. You will see there is an empty string in the first array, but there is no empty string in the second array. So we remove the item from the array, which is an empty string, and basically then added that into another array, right? So again, uh, uh, we don't have to do this manually. JavaScript provides a built-in method for that called filter. Okay, so I can just do the names dot filter. Okay, and there's a functions. Again, I will just write where uh, filter function, and I'll just say function and just say item. Okay, so each item basically iterates over and pass the value. Okay, again, just like maps, it is also have to return something. All right. So any truthy value, when it is negated, we can just do this. Okay, and whenever it is returns truthy, all the truthy value will be filtered out. So if I pass this here, and again I have to assign this to a new variable. Okay, and I can print this here. If I print this, you will see there is an empty string which is being removed from this. Of course, I add another line here. Okay, not did not work. Okay. This empty string basically we remove from that. Again, we don't really have to use another we don't have to create a function assignment. We can directly use the expression and pass this as an inline, right? So this filter, again, we use very heavily just to filter out data from the array items, so that let's say if you have an array which is receiving a lot of empty values. We can remove and filter out those empty values. Okay, so now if I run this again, I will still have right now, because there are two items which are basically empty. So it basically filter out those two items. So here is the value, original one, but then there is the new one. Okay, so filter method can be used for very different purposes. Let's say if I have something called as a let's say if I have a 3, let's okay 3 5, and let's say we have a true. Okay, so now it says, let's say if you want to filter out only the string value, not the numeric and other types, right? So again, I will just use the same filter. I'll just copy here and paste here. I'll just say name to. All right, so the requirement, let's say that I want to filter out the string value. So what I will do, I will just say type of item equals to string. Okay, all right, and I'll wrap this, right? So if the item is a string, type of item is a string, then I don't have to use basically double exclamation. It will still return the boolean value. But I'm just showing you that it will explicit cast into coerce into a boolean type. Okay. Now if it is true, it basically will return on the value which is a number, right? So if I print this now, where did I miss it? Name two. And this, you see this, right? In the original array, you have this items, and in the new array, you have only string value, right? Same way, you can do a number also. Right? It will then only print out the number. Okay? You can do boolean also. Okay, then it will only filter out the boolean value, right? So this is the one method which again we very heavily use in JavaScript array. All right, push pop. I will remove this part. It's good to have know this, but not really use it. For each map and filter. All right, there is one more method which is called reduce, but we don't often use it, so I won't be covering it. I won't be showing it. Right. So these are basic built-in methods which array we have in array constructor and very heavily used with the data which is available in the array. Let's see what methods we can use. Names to dot we filter find index find index. Okay, yes. Okay. So another method. All right. Let's say if you want to find out the value of uh, let's say you want to find out the index of one of the value, right? Let's say you want to find out in this array, you want to find out the index of Nate, at which index the Nate is present or not, or possibly let's say scenario is find out the value name Nate is present in the array or not, right? So again, if you go with the traditional way with the for loop, what you will do basically create a for loop and then you will check. Okay, you will say value equals to, okay, Nate. If it is there, then you will say return. Let's say if you say var index equals to, let's say index equals to undefined. Okay, by default, let's say I'm putting it -1. Okay. And now, if it is matches, I will say index equals to I. Okay. Now, if I console this, so by looking at this, right, you will be able to identify Nate is at index number 1, right? So if I print names and if I print index, okay. Middle is where is okay. Now basically okay, I guess the problem is name two. Okay. You will see this. So I basically searched for the Nate and it gave me the value at the index number index 1. Okay. I basically, let me just check with the number 3, and which is the index of number 3, 2, right? If I run this, it will say index 2. All right. And let's see if I want to check some value which is not present. Okay. So it will still give me the minus. Let's say if I don't define anything here, it will basically give me the undefined. Yeah. So this basically way I can find out the index of the value if you want to find out, right? So again for Java and JavaScript functions, JavaScript method, JavaScript array method gives a kind of a handy way. So you don't have to write this code again and again. Imagine you are writing this for loop many times. Okay. So by using this simple utility functions, utility method which is available in array prototype, we can use this. Okay. The same way, I'll just comment this out. And again, I do not this, I do not this, I do not this one. No. Right. So we have index of, let's say we pass name. Okay. And this will basically give me the value index or index value. Okay. And I can just print this. Okay. Run this. You'll see 1, right? Nate is present at 1. Okay. I can just say true index of, give me index of true. Okay. Basically give me 4, right? If I, let's say if I post index of 10, it will give me -1. All right. So whenever we do index of in JavaScript array, all right, and if the value is not present, it will always return a -1. Okay. And this is the one condition which we use to check whether the item is present or not. All right. So what we do basically, we do something like this. We check for the array for the value, and we'll say if index equal to -1, okay, we'll say console.log item item is not present in the array. Okay. Else, item found in, say, index. Okay. Now if I run this, now, let's make this part. Okay. It will print item is not present in the array, right? But the moment I use, let's see if I use name, we'll say item found in the index position 1. Right? Let's say if you ask 5, we will say index position found in this, right? So this is we used for checking whether the item is present or not. All right. So instead of assigning this to variable, we basically write this and directly within the if condition as a inline check. So we basically say array dot index of whatever value you want to find out. Okay. And if it is a -1, that means that item is not present. Right. So basically, we use a negation. We use something like this. Yeah. We use something like this. I'll just switch on. Switch. Yes. Okay. So let's see this form. Okay. So if I run this now, let's say item found, item never found. Yeah, it is found, right? If I change this to something else, let's say item is not found in the array, right? So this is how we write a code, actual real code in JavaScript. Okay? So index of is very heavily again used in JavaScript just to find out the item of the array. Okay? This is again behind the scene. This is again a for loop. Okay? So instead of writing this for loop again and again, right? Uh, uh, this this basically utility methods helps you basically reduce the code a lot. Okay. All right. So one is the index above. Another one which recently introduced was in ES is called includes. So same way, if I do if, I'll just say let as a present. I'll just say names or includes. Okay. And again I'll say name. So includes does the exact same thing, but instead of returning the index, it returns true and false. Okay. If I basically console, okay, let's say no includes doesn't includes, includes no, it's a name too. Name too. It's name too, right? It's name too. Yeah. So it is true, right? Net is present. Okay. So if I say 3 is present or not, it will say 3 is present. All right. Okay. So if I but if I say this 3, it is false because the string 3 is not present in this. So if I say true, let's say true because true is present in this. All right. So includes gives us the Boolean value, and this was recently introduced in ES6. Not recently, but it is introduced in ES6, and slowly we basically moving away from index of to includes. So instead of doing this, so earlier we used to do this. Earlier we used to do this on ES5. Now what we do, most of the cases what we do this includes because it is Boolean. We don't have to use this check, right? Now I'll just say I'll just remove this. I'll just comment this. It's an item not present, right? And the moment I use, let's say if I use 3, okay, you will say item found because there is an item available, right? Okay, so the built-in method में कौन सा we have push, pop, concat, for each, map, filter, index of, and includes. Okay, let me check if another method which we have to use, which is regularly used, names dot filter, find index, for each covered, include covered, index of covered, join. Yes, yeah, okay. Okay. So the one more method which again used for converting one data type to another data type, right? So if you want to convert array into a string, there is again a method which can be used. Okay. So instead of again writing something like this, let's see if I have a text. Okay, that is an empty string, right? And now basically what I want to do, I'll just say text equals to text plus, okay, and then a value here, and I'll just say whatever the value space I want to give. All right. If I do console here, the text here, okay, and if I print this, now we print this, okay, you will see this is converted into a the text. This array is now converted into a text. Okay, we basically use all the item, we loop through it, and we concatenate all the. If I don't add this space, basically it will club all them together. Okay, right? Because without all the items are basically concatenated without a space. Again, you don't have to use a for loop. What you can do, use a built-in method. Okay, called, let's say if I use names dot, it is join. All right. So join basically will convert array into a string. Okay. And again in join we have to basically tell the function or method that what should be the delimiter for joining. So either we can say empty space, all right, and it returns a new value, okay, a new variable. So I'll just say let, okay, I'll just say values. I can just say console or log and values. Okay. Now if I print this, basically now it basically concatenates all the values. Yeah, I can just say true, and if I run this, okay, it basically concatenates all the value with a space. If I remove the space here, again basically concatenate without a space. I can give anything here with the join keyword. It will still give me it will use that as a delimiter. So this is called as a delimiter, right? We pass a delimiter as a colon, and basically I added a delimiter between all the items. Okay, I can pass any delimiter. I can pass semicolon. Okay, then I can pass, let's say, Let's say if I pass p as a delimiter, it will add again at p at all the places. Okay, I can pass this. Right. So it added this angle bracket all in all the while basically concatenating all the values, right? So this again join is very heavily used, and while basically we convert array into uh, a string. Okay. So we normally use comma to basically concat a value, or most of the time we use semicolon or colon. Okay, but you can use any values, something like this. Right. So this when we use this, let's say whenever we want to basically do a cross system communication. Let's say we want to communicate with the other system which does not support an array. Right. For example, native JavaScript array. Right. So what we do basically we convert that into a string, and then we send that a string to that system, and basically that system decides how to convert it back to their own linked list or something format which they want to have it. Right. So join again is a method which is used very heavily. All right. So there is one last method, I guess, which we again not in this, not in that is an issue. Names dot join keys map reduce slice slice sort. Okay. So there is one more method again for sort. Sorting is normally used for let's say if I have a values which are like a similar type, you can sort the array. Okay. So right now, because this is a not a single type an array, the sorting won't really work exactly. But if you have a numeric array, you can do a sort, and you can just sort the by a number, or so, yeah. Or possibly this sort function takes functions also, and you can do all the operations, and you can sort, right? So not really much use, so we won't be covering it. There is a slice function. Again, slice does basically slice the array. Let's see if I want to give two, I can just say value var values console names value. Basically you will see uh, this is an old array, and it slides the value from the second position, second index. I've added second index. All right. So if I basically add this is from second index, I want two items. Okay. So it will basically start from second index, and it will take two values. Did not happen. I start from 0 and start from 3. Yeah. It took. I started from 0, and I basically added two uh, basically I wanted a three items, so basically it slides the three items. So always there is a one more function in array method, which is a splice. You will always get a confusion between slice and splice. Never use splice. Never use splice. Right? Splice is a kind of a it converts, it transform into a changes the value of the array. If I run this, uh, I don't really sure why it is not working. Yeah. So basically splice क्या करता है? It removes the item from the array. Okay. So never really use a splice. If you want to basically split the array, always use slice. Okay. Slice का जो पहला first parameter is always a starting number and a number, basically how many items you want. Okay. This is used but not really, not heavily. Okay. And I haven't used this, but let me just show you. There is one more method called key, and let's see if this works. Where keys inside the block. I'm not sure this will work. It does not, because their keys are used in object. Uh, where does not work? Slice to string. Shift slice reverse. just like a sort, reverse works exactly same but in reverse order. ठीक है, join हो गया, index हो गया, includes हो गया, all right. But, okay, so basically this there are few more methods, entries and all, right? Not really used, so I won't be covering. So this is the basic build methods which we use in JavaScript when we operate on an array. उसमें से we use concat, for each, map, filter, index of, include and join. ये we use very heavily. These are basically used very heavily. These basically these threes are kind of experimental. When let's say we're doing some tutorial and all, we use these methods. Okay, just to show. But in real life, real project or real data, we use these methods. So which is shown here. Okay, so these are the basically built-in methods, which is basically used in JavaScript array. Okay, and then how these methods are defined. Let's say if you have an array as a your constructor function. ठीक है, I'm just writing this is called as a pseudocode. This is a pseudocode. Basically behind the scene it is written something like this. I'll just push, there will be method and there will be value. Okay, and here adds item at the end of the array. ठीक है, same way we have pop, ठीक है, removes from. Okay, same the push and pop, like shift and unshift. We will have something like this for each. Okay, for each में we take a loop iterator function, or we call it as a callback, and now by using for loop here, look, this basically loops through all the item, and this callback is called every time in all the values, with all the values. Okay, item and index. Okay, this applies to same with same also map also. Okay, map में भी वही होता है. Okay, then map returns another array. Then we have a filter also. Okay, then again we have a index of. Okay? Index of uses the same value and returns either the index number or -1. Okay, so basically right now it returns the value. It does not. It takes basically value. It checks and it returns the index or -1. Index or -1. Okay. Same way we have includes. Okay. Includes takes the value and it returns true or false. Okay. Then we have a concat. Okay. Concats take another array. Okay. And then it basically adds the value by using true for loop. It adds the value and return the new array. Okay. I'm just adding. So this basically returns the new array. Okay. There all the value of the old array plus as well as new array will be concatenated. Same way we have a called join. Okay. Join will take a delimiter here. Okay. And then it will basically and basically return the string value. Okay, we concat and return the string value, right? So these are basically the behind the scene implementation will looks like, right? This is the kind of pseudocode which I've written where you can use it. Okay, the moment I use let's say val a new array equals to new array. Okay, it will basically now new will have push and pop, all the methods being attached to it, right? Automatically attached to it. Okay, this way. So JavaScript has already given this for us, so we don't have to do anything. Okay, they can directly use it and consume it. Right? Okay, So these are basically a built-in method for the JavaScript this array constructor. Okay, any doubt, any question? Any question? All right, okay, let's move on then. Okay. Okay. All right. So now let me show you how these arrays are used. Okay. Again, I'm coming back to the data types. Okay. So this is the data types. Okay. And let's say I'm calling it as a data. Okay. Now I'm calling it as data because array is a non-primitive and it can hold primitive or non-primitive. So in real life, what happens? Array holds anything. Okay. So now it is holding all the string. Okay. But sometime what happens? uh, it holds true, it holds boolean, it will hold null, okay, it will hold another array, okay, it will hold an object, okay, and it will hold good part, it will hold a anonymous function as well. Okay, now tell me, now it is time for you to basically tell me how I will reference this value. Let's see if I want to read uh, the item of the array of let's say the item which is an array inside an array. How will I read it? Okay, let's say where let's say look up data. What will be the index for, let's say, the item which is an array? What will be the index value for this? इंडेक्स वैल्यू ऑफ 0 में क्या आउटपुट आएगा?
EUR's name.
I just change name. ठीक है, name आ गया, right? Same way if I use 3, I will get the empty array, है ना? ठीक है, I can just keep on adding the value here also. Okay. Now again, if you use this, run this, it will give me the value which is present at that index, which is an array. Okay, it returns the array. Same way, if I use index 4, it will return me the empty object. Okay, I can add name again. I'll just say object, जो भी value है, object value. Okay. Now if I run this, it will basically fetch that value from that index. Same way, if I use 5, what will happen now? Function, right? So we straightforward. So it will basically print out the functions. So now this lookup function is now pointing to that this function which is present inside the array. Okay, referencing to inside that array. Okay. Now because this is a function, I can call it also. Okay, it is returning undefined because I'm not doing anything. So I just let me just put some console here. Now if I run this, it prints the value. Okay. Let me just call it directly. Because it is not, I can just directly call it. Okay, it prints the value, right? So this way I'm able to call it. So in JavaScript, again, we don't have to basically assign this to a variable. I can directly do this. So what is really happening in data variable, it is referencing the sixth in the key or fifth index, and because it is a function, it is calling it. I'm just calling it. Okay. Now let's say, I hope you are getting it.
हाँ.
Any confusion till now?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, now tell me if I want to read the let's say uh, the item of the second the nested array. So what will be the basically syntax for this? It was 3. Then if I do 3, I can read this. Now let's say you want to read the test key. I just want to read this value. So what will be the syntax for that?
C then square bracket 1.
Okay, it will be 1, right? Because there is only two items are there. Instead of doing, let's see, I can just copy this. Let's say that. Now if I run this, it prints the value, right? So again, we don't have to assign this to variable, we can directly reference it. Same way, let's say you want to read the object. So what will be the syntax for that? Want to read the object value, then what is the syntax for that?
And one more square bracket with a string name.
Dot.
Name. Okay. This will still work. It gave me the object value which is there, or I can just straightforward I can do dot. Okay, because it is a single key. है ना? It gives me the same value, right? So with this, I'm able to read the value from the nested data, right? So the array, there is a inside an array, the one item which is again an object an array. So I can also read a multiple data. Let's say I'll just say list. Let's say you want to read the value from the list fourth, uh, 0, 1, 2, 3, third index. So what will be the syntax for this now? Let me just clean this up a little bit and make it more readable. Let's say I want to read the third index from this array, this value. So what will be the syntax? How do I reference this? The very first I have to go to that parent index value, right? So if I go, that is in fourth index. Okay, so what is the next step now?
Dot list and in square bracket 4.
Okay. So it will be dot list. Okay. But now basically I have reached to that array, right? Now I can just again, because it is again an array, I can just say index 3 and it will basically print me that third index, right? So again, see this. By reading this, I can reconstruct the what is the actual data type, data which is stored, right? So this is also valid, and I can do something like this also. Yeah, and this is also valid. Both gives me the same data. Okay, I hope you are getting it.
Yes.
Okay, let's see now. Tell me this. Uh, okay. How do I read this now? First, I have to identify the index value. So, which is the index value? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So basically, now I've reached that index value and I basically retrieve the value. Now I want to basically print out the object, the user key, right? Now again I have to find the index value of this.
2.
Okay, will be 2. Okay, because this is an array, so array has an index value. Okay? Now
Dot
this.
user.
Okay, now I can basically just say dot user. Okay. So basically then print the dot user, or another way,
In a square bracket.
in a square bracket. Okay, user. Okay, we get the output. So this is how the complex data structure will look like in JavaScript. Okay, we will have lot of data inside an array by using this multiple cascading complex structure. You will be able to either you'll be able to set or read the data. Right now, I'll show you how functions can be used. Okay, let's say I showed you how to call the function. Right, so I used data. And it was data index 5, I guess. Huh? Okay, huh. It was data index 5. Let's say if it is taking some value, params, okay, and it is printing a params. Okay. Now tell me how will I pass the value? How do I run this?
Index 5 and then pass the parameter.
Again, straightforward index 5. I'm calling a function. Now I'm passing a parameter. I'll just pass some value. Okay. And now, so basically, then it will print whatever value is present. Okay. So this function is called, which is present inside an array. Okay, I'm calling and referencing it. Okay, now very interesting part. Let's say if I want to print out any one of the item using this function. Let's say मुझे third index का सारा value print करना है. So how will I pass the value to that function? Third index of data array, I want to print it using this function.
Using this keyword,
No, very straightforward. Basically, either I can use this. Okay, I will just say third index मुझे दे दो. Okay, and I will just say pass third index. So value, and it will print the value. It is okay. So basically plus plus कर दिया इसने, concat कर दिया because it is an object. Okay, I see this. Yeah. Static reference. So basically यहाँ पे I read the third index, assign this to value, and that third index का data is passed to a this function, and the function is printed. Okay. Same way, I don't have to assign this to variable. I can just do something like this and call it. Okay, it exactly does the same thing. Okay. So with this, you will be able to do a lot of things with an array. Okay. Array can hold anything, so it can hold a function. Sometimes we have a in complex structure, specifically in Node, we have a something called something like this. So let's say be something like this, callbacks we say, and there we will have something like this, series of callbacks. Okay. We will have series of callbacks, something like this. All right. Now, in basically because this is an array. Now this is an array of functions. Yeah. So each functions can be called and can be run. Okay. So and this is basically very heavily used in Node, and to pass one task to another task. So when you do a complex advanced or basically do a node, you'll be able to find out exactly what it does. Okay. So I just wanted to show that array can also hold a functions, because array is also object or non-primitive. Okay. So this was basically a kind of a background of a JavaScript array, right? And by knowing this, you can do a lot of things in this. ठीक है, ऑलराइट. So now let me move to an object. Object, ठीक है. All right. So object में again, to create an object, you just do object and you just do basically literal notation. So object you can define using 4 type literal notation. What is the second type? Second way, other way.
New object.
Object keyword. Okay. Then you can use new object. Okay. And you can use object
Dot create.
create. Okay. These are the ways basically you can create a object. Okay. But by default we use, because we want a singleton, we don't want to create an instance of another object, we just use a singleton instance method, right? So again, now I have an object. I have already have an object which has a few keys. Okay. I've just defined an object and which has a key and values, key and value. So see this key and there's a value, key and value. This is a string, this is a number, a string, boolean, a string, number. All right. This is again a number. Another, we have a key which is an array. An array is array of a string. Again, we have a string key which is an again array of objects. All right, which is an array of objects. So let me just remove couple of them from here. So it is more readable now. Okay. All right. All right. So before I go to its built-in prototype methods, how do I read the value? Console.log user dot. Let's see if I want to read the age. I just have to do the key value, right? So I basically have I will use user object name and then this key value. Okay. If I use user dot friends, it will basically print out all the values which is there in that key. Okay. It is again array of object. Okay. I can use tags. It will also print it the value. Okay, right? Again, I can just use another key. It will print the boolean value. Okay. Let me go back to this. Okay. What about this? How do I read the, let's say, do this value in this object? What is that? Huh? Basically, it will be right. See, right? I can basically just reference the value. Same way, I can do friends may also. Friends is an array of object. So if I just do these things, I can just do this. After this part, friends may they have and just printed. It printed all the. Let's say if you want to, because this is again an array. I printed the 0th index. It will print the object. Okay. How do I read the name?
Dot name.
Yeah, straightforward. Dot name. Basically, I can print the name. It printed the name. Right. So either this way or I can use
Square bracket.
bracket notation. Right. We print the name. Okay. Same way I can do ID also. The pencil prints the ID. Okay. So this is very straightforward how we read basically an array or object, right? Let's see if you have a something like this. Again, we have a I'll just say links. And I'll just say another one, and it is again an object, and so again let's say someone. Okay. So how do I read the key web? User dot link dot web. Okay, I can keep on going. All the nested, if there is a nested data present, flat data present, I can just keep on dot notation. If there is an array, I just have to use index notation to read the value. Okay. This way, I can read the value. Okay, then printed this, right? Very straightforward in JavaScript object. There is not much in JavaScript object. So let me show you a few built-in method for this. Okay, we already saw object.create. Okay. Now, so there is one method which we very heavily use to find out how many keys are present in this. Okay, that method is called we use object constructor, and we use that method is called key, and we pass the user object into that. Okay, and it returns a new array. Okay, I will just say var keys. Now, because it returns a new array, if I print this, it will basically print me all the keys that is present in this user object. Okay, say this. It basically extracted all the keys. Same way, I can do values. It basically extracted out all the values of that object and converted into an array. Okay, and basically inserted into the at respective index value, right? So first key is added into 0th index. This was added into 4th or 5th index, right? So key is very heavily used when we want to basically identify whether this key is present or not, okay, or whether we want to operate on a key. Okay, let's say if we want to remove all the non-primitive from this object, for example. Okay, so what we do, we use keys because key is an array. So we use basically filter function in that array, and we pass a built-in method in that. Let's say item. Okay, just say not item, key name. Okay, and we check. Not this one, not filter. Filter won't work. It is basically I want to create a new object. Where new user. I have to use for each. Okay. Now key. What I want to do, I basically want to read all the values. Okay. So I will just say var value equals to user.key. Okay. This is how we read the value from the object. Okay. This key is a string. I am passing as a, because this is the variable notation. I cannot use dot notation here. So I have to pass as a bracket literal. So this basically reads the key and it will loop and identify all the keys and will assign to this. Right? If I console this, I can just say key and values. You will see there's a key index and there is a value. There is a key, there is a value, key and value, key and value, key and value. Right? It printed all the together. Right? Now, what I want to do, I want to basically only get the value which are a primitive type. Right? So if I do if type of value not equal to object, okay, then what I want to do, basically I want to do new key. This way I can just again to create a new, add the new key in, to add a key into object, we just use this notation again, and I want to add the value. This will basically add the value in the new array. I will just say use. You will see it filter out the value, or possibly I'll just do the reverse. It added the array as well as an object. Okay. Okay. Now tell me, why did it added object? I mean array. I just did a type of value equals to object, but why did it added a object this array?
Array is also internally object.
Yeah. So when you do a type of array, right, it basically shows the It basically shows the object only. Okay, so I'm coming how to solve that, how to identify whether this, whether how do we identify an array in JavaScript. Okay, so this way we basically we this key we use for this is the static method, not a part of prototype method. Okay, and that is why we didn't do user dot keys. Okay, yeah, we use class, possibly let's say class dot keys. Start, this is the starting method. Okay, another method we have called user dot there is nothing much in actually on an object. Object dot, we don't really use then. We see object dot create, then we saw object dot uh, uh, we saw object dot create, we saw object keys, we saw object values. Okay, there is a value also. Okay. All right. So there is also function called object.freeze. Okay. This is again a static method. Remember, when we do a where user2 equals to user, and we add something in user2, what happens? What will happen?
User is also updated.
Right. Okay, so sometime, because it is a pass by reference, है ना? Correct. So when we do object.freeze, right, so if I freeze this object, it will not change it. Okay, it will not change it. It basically freezes the object and it created as a static data. Okay, so sometimes we use it, and we have very heavily use in React. I haven't seen this in Node, but we have very heavily use in React. Okay? All right. So let's say if you want to, so just remember this. Okay, front end in React, this is very heavily used. Uh, uh, Sometimes what happens, I want to copy this entire object. Okay, and uh, but if I do this, it basically copying a reference. So again, JavaScript provides in ES5, there is again a built-in method in object constructor or object static method, which is called assign. So I will just do object dot assign. Okay? So what this does, basically it creates a new object and assign this to an user object. Right. So if I now do this, this will basically copy all the first level objects. If I print this, you will see this. Let me just check if I'm changing the value in this. It is also changing the value. I'm not sure this is a deep. Don't got that. Yes. So in first case, this is false. Okay. Basically, it is not copying the deep objects. There is another flag here where I don't remember. But assign basically creates a copy of this object. Okay. इसका solution, I mean, this was used in ES5. ES6 that there is a new syntax. I will be covering day after tomorrow. Okay. Another one is not really used, not really used, not really used, not really used. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can use toString. Basically, this will convert this object into a string, and it will give you the object which we have seen earlier. You will see. Not this. Okay, sorry. User.toString. It is an prototype method. You will see object. Okay. Yeah. So in object, we basically use keys. Values very rarely used. Then assign, we used to when there was no ES6 to copy the object, we used the assign method, but right now in ES6 we use ES6 syntax, so we don't really use anymore. Okay, and freeze we use in React. I haven't seen this in Node. Okay, so basically technically if you dekha jaye, we only use keys in object. Okay, a constructor method. Okay. All right. So this basically again completes the object part. Right. I missed the last part here. In array, if I want to identify, if I do type of data, output क्या होगा इसका?
Object.
ऑब्जेक्ट है ना, ठीक है. क्या हो गया इसको?
O is small. Okay.
Sorry, wrong file. It is object, right? Now, how do I identify whether this is an array or object, right? Because both array and object will give you the same output. Okay. So again, to solve this issue, JavaScript constructor method has created another static method in array constructor that can be used to identify. So that basically we use array dot is array. It is again a method. When we use it, it again gives a true and false. It returns a true and false. This is an array. If I basically say var data equals to hello, okay, if I pass data to, okay, it basically returns the false. Okay. So this method is very heavily used again to identify whether it is an array or object. Remove the function. Okay, yeah. This along with that all the method which I have shown you earlier, right? Array dot is array. Okay. And so basically what we do, let's say if we are not sure whether the data type is an array or not, we do something like this. Okay. We do something like this. Okay. So this gives us the guarantee for each can only be run on array. Okay. So here it will return a true if it is an array, it will return false if it is an object or anything else. If it is not an array. Okay. That means for each will not run in that. Okay. If returns if I do this, okay, the data will be run. If I run, okay, let's say I just do item, okay, and just the console log item. Okay. Let's see if I pass the data 2 and data 2 here. So run this, it did not run it because the condition is false because this is a string. The moment I pass data, okay, it basically printed all the output. Okay. These methods again, this is the starting method of constructor object, I have constructor prototype, which is used to identify the array. Okay. Object again we only use a keys, so don't really have to much worry about it. Okay. Okay. So last part is a string. Okay, so okay, so I'll just say where text okay. Now this is the string. I'll just do console. Now so far it is a data type string. Okay. Now I'll just do the string. We print the value. Okay. All right. Now I can operate on this string by using a string constructor prototype. Okay. Let's say if you want to make everything uppercase. So again, in string prototype, there is a method called built-in method provided where it basically loops through all the keys and it can basically update, make it everything uppercase. So that method is called to uppercase. If I do this, it will basically convert this into everything into an uppercase. Same way, to lowercase, it will basically convert into a lowercase. Okay. There is a local function also where you can pass in a localized language. Okay. So two uppercase and two lowercase. Okay. There are like two functions which we very heavily use, just to normalize the text, because sometimes what really happens, in real world, uh, the basic behavior of the users are okay. Basically, somebody will say Ankit. Okay. Let's say I'm just reading out the name. Okay. I'll just say Ankit Wag. Okay. He wrote it basically say A capital and W capital. I have print this, but most of the time you will say users are writing in capital letter, and you want basically your data in small letter. Okay, let's say this is I'll just say this. And again, if I do run this, converted into a small letter, right? Okay, so far it is fine, but again you will see something like this. Okay, uh, again it is fine, but while we save the data in database, we should always normalize the data. That means all the value either should be in capital case or a small letter or small case. Okay, so again it's normal, but they're like behavior of the developer, I mean the users or customers who are very much like they like to write a trendy way. So they'll basically say something like this. Yeah, it's something like that, just to give it a trendy look, right? So just to normalize the data in the database system, we always do uppercase or lowercase of the string which we receive, so that we have a consistency. Okay, so this is the use case of that, and very heavily used in while we save the data in the backend. Okay, again, all right. So now this is session. Okay. Okay. Now, sometimes what you want to do, I want to basically split this data, split the string into a multiple kind of values, right? So again, JavaScript gives the string prototype gives a method called a split. I can just give a split, okay? And I have to pass a delimiter here that I want to split using a space. So it will basically split and returns the, just like in the array we use a join. In a string we have a split. So array में join होता है values, string में split होता है. Okay, if I run this, it basically split the value by using space and it will give you an array. Okay. Okay. Now if I, let's say, split using JS, so it will find out the value JS and it will split the value. So it is split it into two value. Okay, so I will just use a space here. Will split the value. There is no space, so now it is split it into all the empty string value. So it is basically created the complete new array. Okay, so a split is again very heavily used. Let's say I want to sometimes what happens, we want to normalize the text and we want to remove the text space from the whatever text. So what we do a split, right? Because it creates an array, and on the fly, because JavaScript uses the flexibility, on the fly we can use join. And so a split is used in a string, it returns an array, and an array we can use join, and we join using dash. Okay, so now this will give me the text, a kind of a transposed text. So by using just this line, I'm able to achieve this. Okay, by using this simple line. Okay, so a split will give me an array, and then array I can use a join method. So this is the kind of a cascading method of, this is also called the function chaining or method chaining. Okay, and this is the beauty of JavaScript, that you can do a method chaining while operating on the text and values.
Sir, sir, instead of split, can you show me slice instead of split? So what would be the output? I want to see the output. Yeah, slice.
Split is only a slice is only applicable in array.
Okay, yes, okay.
Okay, it is only
Okay.
applicable in the array. Okay, it removed the first index from zero to from first index. Okay, basically slice out the from first index. Okay, so split is again. So one more method which is very heavily used is called replace. Okay, now sometime what happens, we want to replace specific value with something else. Okay, so we say we give the value, initial value, let's say I want to give a JS and I want to replace it by TS, for example. So hopefully this will work. So this is the TS session. Okay, basically replace the value JS from the TS. Okay? Very handy, you don't have to do anything, right? Everything is built in. Okay. Sometimes also after, let's say I want to space, instead of a split and join, I can use something like this. I want to replace all the space with a dash. This is the same method can be used. Same thing. Okay. Now it only operated on the first instance. Uh, I have to use a regular expression here. Uh, I have to use a space. I have to use a G. Okay. It will find out all the space in the string and replaces with the dash. Okay. So again, you have to learn regular expression to understand exactly what is this doing. I will not be covering it. So another method is basically split हो गया. PC I showed you uppercase, lowercase, trim. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes we always receive. Let's say whenever when we fill a form and we put an email ID, right? And we always put a space after the email ID. Let's say uh, uh, Ankita, okay, Matre at let's say gmail.com. ठीक है, and now she is filling the form but उसमें space add कर दिया. ठीक है, अब now because you want to normalize the data, right? In database you don't want anything which is a corrupted data, because if I try to evaluate this is not an email ID, right? So what we do again, we basically trim out the data, trim out the space. So trim क्या करता है, it removes space from both the places. If I run this, you will see this. Okay, trimmed out the space. Okay, even if I add a space here, it will trim out the space. Okay. It does not trim out the space from the two text, but it will trim out the space from the two edges. Okay. So again, trim is very heavily used when we basically operate on a string. Next one is we already have two. Not really used, but I'm just showing you. Substring. Okay. Substring may be passed an index value. Let's say if I pass 3, it basically took the from. Now when I do substring, right, internally JavaScript will convert this into an array. Okay, so this will be basically something like this. Split किया उसने, ठीक है, split करने के बाद third value ले लिया उसने. Okay, not this one, not this one. Sorry. Let's split. Okay. Oh no, use empty string. Okay. Now this is created, right? And now it basically so when I use substring, it will take a position from that and it will concat again. That value will be concated again. Okay, substring here. Then we have a dot substring. I don't remember exactly why these two functions. I guess the both does the same thing. Then again there is a caret. So you can just basically again it's a we have never used it. So actually I have never used it. So character at, let's say index number, if I give index number position 4, it will give me the 2. Okay. It is there, but I have never used it. So I have used only a split. Okay. I have used a replace. Then I have substring. I haven't used it. Then I have used stream. I use stream very heavily. And then again, there is not really required, but I always do a toString just to basically avoid any issue with the string type. This gives me the this basically gives me a confirmation that the value is a string. So let's say if I want to store in database which is a string, right, and I pass a number. Okay. So toString is one of the method which is available in all constructor type, which will convert all that value into a string. Okay, and will convert into a string. And this text is basically converted into a string. So in case of string also, so whenever I do a trim, okay, trim can only be operated on a string. So I always do a toString trim. So just to give me a kind of safety, so that in case if the value is not a string, trim function will not crash. Okay? If I run this, it will still work. ठीक है, it will still work. Yeah. If I run this, let's say 23, and if I run this thing, let's shoot some three things. String is not a function, okay, because this is a number. But if I have two string here, it gave me the value, right? So it basically casted the value into a string, and now I can use a string value, right? This gives me a safety net for the my functions or method. Okay. So true string I very heavily use when I'm doing anything which is when I'm using any one of the method in a string. So I always do two string a split. Okay, two string replace. Okay, so I can very safely use it. Right. So these are the basically built-in method that we can operate on a string or string data type. Okay. All right. So this is what I wanted to cover today. All right. So this is the kind of a this covers the whole picture of your JavaScript variables, data types, as well as their constructor types. Okay. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. I hope this session was okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.